Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory going to Yahweh by Hashem Shai, by Hashem Dash. Love honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Salutations to all you alchemists out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity by way of the highways and byways, going out in the streets teaching and preaching, also by way of the internet. Shalom to you very few sisters that's out there listening and learning. This is your brother Nayap, and I'm back with another news update. So I really don't have no words for real. I might stop in between one of these or something, but I really don't have no words. It's for fair use, fair use, fair use. And for educational purposes only, just not for any type of monetary gain. Matter of fact, give me 2 seconds. Kind of wanted to read something out loud right quick. Oh, but it is it's gonna be a moment in this video that I'm gonna have to pop in for like these GPUs or AI technology part. But that's pretty much about it. Hold on. I was just trying to see if I can find this screenshot, because if I can, I'll just read it off. Or matter of fact, I can just do this. I can just go to the the vid. All right, this is under copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might authorize by be infringing. It says non-profit, educational, or personal use tips. All right. So the balancing of fair use. All right. So fair use, fair use, fair use. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. A couple of these might be a little old. It's not old. And what I mean by old, some of them may be like 1 month apart, something like that, but the majority is not. Just like the first couple, like 3 or 4 videos, I believe. And out of them 3 or 4, anyway.
Attention, any Walmart shoppers still in the store. The store is now closed. Attention, any remaining customers.
But it's happening. Will permanently close next month.
In total, the company announced that 269 store locations will be closed worldwide starting next month. Though most of the store locations are in the United States, a bulk of the store closures will occur in Brazil as well. Included in the restructuring, 102 Walmart Express stores will be closed in the United States, with 154 stores in the U.S. closing altogether. The move will affect 16,000 employees. In other markets, Walmart said it was closing 115 stores in Latin America, including 60 in Brazil.
So this comes as officials with the company continue to pull workers back to its main hubs. So in the memo that was sent to employees, the retailer said it is cutting roles and asking office-based employees in some of its smaller offices to relocate to the company's newly opened headquarters, but did not specify how many workers are being impacted.
There go your Walmart.
A flesh-eating danger that is now threatening the U.S. southern border. This is according to our federal government. I'm talking about maggots Yes, maggots that eat living tissue and could devour $100 billion in cattle and beef if they make it to the U.S. They are about to hatch. They're about 700 miles from the U.S. border. They've been detected there. However, your government has a plan, ladies and gentlemen, and that plan is a doozy. I'll detail it for you. So they're going to release millions of flies of the very same breed as the maggots. So maggots become flies. That's nature's way. But the flies are male flies of the same breed. Again, there they are. And they're going to be sterile. So the idea is that the male sterile flies are then going to go down to Mexico and breed with the female flies.
As one does.
They will lay eggs that then don't hatch into anything. And as a result, the invasion will never happen, and it'll be a problem that stays over the border. A lot of writing on getting this right. I hope they can really do this.
We all condemned the horrible, terrible attacks of Hamas. But what we are witnessing in Gaza is a level of death and destruction that has no parallel in recent times. And it is something that undermines undermines the most basic conditions of human dignity for the population of Gaza, independently of the enormous suffering that they are having. We absolutely need a permanent ceasefire in Gaza. And I hope that the parties are able to overcome, most parties are able to overcome the difficulties that they still find for that ceasefire to take place. But the ceasefire is not enough. It is essential that that ceasefire leads to a solution, and that solution can only be possible if both Palestinians and Israelis can have a state where they can exercise their rights.
Police in Richmond Heights, Ohio, capturing the moment 3 women twerked on a cop cruiser, then using a facial recognition platform, they identified them. Take a look at this. So, dash cam video shows a woman climbing onto the car with others, later joining. Police say the brazen act, which involved this type of dancing you see here, happened back in June. It damaged the vehicles because of that twerking with dents and scratches. A detective telling us with the use of clear view.
Big ass beast. You see? Big ass beast on top of this car. Hold on, let me grab this. Big ass beast. Soon as I heard twerking and doing all this ratchet shit, this is the first precept that came to my mind. This is Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 21. How long shall I see the standard and hear the sound of the trumpet? For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are foolish. They are sottish children. All right. And they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. All right. Our people is gone, man. You know, look at this shit. This give Esau a reason. This give this devil a reason to put your ass on TV, man. Buffoonery.
AI facial recognition, they were able to identify 2 of the women who were twerking. Warrants are out for their arrest. They're still searching for a 3rd.
Disgusting.
The Supreme Court today said President...
And then you wonder why you can't keep a man. Then you wonder why you can't, you know? Oh my goodness. Jake, stay away from these people.
Donald Trump may proceed with his plans to carry out mass layoffs at the Department of Education in the latest win for the White House. The justice is lifting a lower court ruling that put an indefinite pause on Trump's plan while legal challenges play out. Trump ordered mass layoffs at the department earlier this year, cutting its workforce in half, but lower courts have blocked that effort, noting that the Education Department was created by Congress. In a scathing dissent, Justice Sonia Sotomayor called the decision, quote, indefensible.
Consumer alert this morning. New Jersey-based LLK Trading is recalling its 200-gram packages of needle mushrooms due to a listeria risk. The company says if eaten, the mushrooms could pose a serious risk to younger children, older people, or those with weakened immune systems. It does not have any reports of people getting ill from the mushrooms. The FDA spotted the possible contamination during a routine test. Anyone who has the product should throw it away or return it to where it was purchased for a full refund. Consumer alert this morning.
Well, very sadly, we know that all 4 people who were on board that flight, which crashed here at Southend Airport on Sunday afternoon, lost their lives. And Sky News understands that 2 of them were Dutch men, both a pilot and a co-pilot, while the passengers was a female nurse from Chile and a male medical professional who was from Europe. We're still no closer, though, to understanding what caused this crash, and that's despite 2 investigations happening at the same time, one being led by Essex Police and the other by the Air Accident Investigation Branch. And they say that now the police have been able to secure the site. They're able to get to the plane crash itself, sift through the wreckage and gather the physical evidence that they need to try and understand what on earth went wrong on Sunday afternoon. At the same time, they say they've been speaking to witnesses and they've also been reviewing any CCTV or mobile phone footage that was shot at the time.
We were due to fly to Alicante and we were actually sitting on the runway on our plane. Passengers were loading. It's about 4 o'clock, and my husband was looking out the window and he saw a huge black smoke. Obviously, we've got to think of the people who were on the flight. We're not worried about our holidays so much. We're very fortunate, so it's just very, very sad.
In the meantime, this airport has fallen silent. No planes can take off or land, and passengers are still being diverted to other airports nearby.
So they can't be fishing. You know, people starving, so if you get caught fishing, you know, that's your ass too.
كارثة كبيرة لقطاع غزة، لأنه اليوم كل العيانين كل المصابين يتغذوا من البحر ومن السمك اللي بيطلع لنا، لأنه فيش أكل وفيش غذاء وفيش حاجة. أغلبيته لو إحنا اليوم منعوا عنا الصيد كارثة كبيرة لقطاع غزة كلنا.
والله هو البحر ايش مأثر عليهم اصلا، يعني ان البحر اصلا مفتوح، مش مفتوح اصلا من الاصل، يعني ادوب كيلو اقل من 2 كيلو بيصحوا فيه ومش مكان مقدر.
And you gotta notice too, a lot of these Amalekites, all right, and these Ishmaelites been mixing too. You know what I'm saying? Elam as well and stuff like that. So you got damn near 3 different nations that's over there, man. You know, but it's really just 2. You know, you got Amalek and you got the Ishmaelites, and you know you got other nations over there as well. But hey, man, like this dude on the screen, it look like I wouldn't even be able to, like, I would say that, you know, this may have been an Ishmaelite, you know, a so-called Arab, you know, but you never know. This could be Edomite, an Amalekite. You know what I'm saying? But his mother might have been a Ishmaelite. But you never know, man. Being over there, it's just like it's all confusion over there, man.
يعني المقذاف في أي دول العالم، بيعدوه مش أدوات صيد، أدوات يعني هواة. بس مصابين الحرب عايشين، يعني والله بيجينا ابن واحدة، والله ابن المصاب يا خالتي بدي اكل له سمك عشان اقويه، واحد بيجينا والله رجله انقطعت ابنه بدي اخذ له شغله بعمل له شغله. لقيت هيك مجاعة حقيقية بتصير حاليا، يعني فيش غذاء في البلد غير السمك حاليا. اذا القرار مشي احنا على وجه يعني كارثة حقيقية.
وهو مش مغلق البحر، الصيد خفيف ومش مكفي ولا ربع مطلب الناس. اليوم لما نسكر حيصير فيش عجز كبير في السمك يعني. أنا بطالب الأمم المتحدة وكل العالم الضمير حي إنه يقفوا مع الناس شوي، مع الصيادين الغلابة اللي يعني بموتوا عشان لقمة العيش. عشان ابسط شغله لقمه العيش يوفرها له ولابناء شعبه انه يطلع لهم سمك او يجيب لهم سمك.
Breaking news. Trump must either deport his own family or resign as president. The U.S. Supreme Court has just delivered an unprecedented verdict ordering Donald Trump to obey the same strict immigration laws he created for America. After an in-depth investigation, the justices discovered that both Trump's and Melania's grandparents entered the country illegally, crossing the border without documents, just like the families targeted for years by Trump's own policies. Now, the ruling is clear. Unless Trump steps down, Melania and their children must leave the United States immediately. The justices declared, justice starts at home. You can't protect your own family while tearing immigrant families apart. This double standard is over. The message is simple. No one is above the rules, not even the president. Social media has erupted. Millions are in disbelief. For the first time, Trump faces the pain and uncertainty he caused for so many others. Share before it disappears. Justice at last starts at the top.
A Doylestown, Bucks County woman is accused of attacking her boyfriend with a meat cleaver. Officers responded to South Main and State Streets in Doylestown at around 9 p.m. Saturday. Officers say they found 50-year-old Robin McNamara outside covered in blood. She told police she believes she broke her boyfriend's nose. When officers located her boyfriend, they said he had a deep cut on the back of his head, along with other lacerations. He told police McNamara attacked him with a meat cleaver. Well, the victim was later taken to a hospital for treatment. McNamara is now charged with attempted murder.
Stay away from these women.
Well, breaking fucking news. The Trump administration, with their continuance of the purge of U.S. aid, has approved that tomorrow, well, what's tomorrow? Fucking today's what, Tuesday, Wednesday? Fucking 7/16/2025, that they will incinerate 500 metric tons of emergency food that could feed every fucking child in Gaza for 1 week. They're going to incinerate it. They're going to burn that food. They're going to burn that food instead of just giving it away. If we're not even talking about the children in Gaza, God forbid we're not, there is a homeless issue in this country where a gentleman just yesterday walked up to me and said, hey man, I have these bag of chips in these bags and I just want some, in this bag I have bags of little chips and I just want a couple dollars so I can get real food. I don't even give a fuck any. At this
I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake. All that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
Mr. President, a question on AI.
She has lived her entire life on land her grandmother received 100 years.
Pay attention to this on how I know Elder Manasseh Zaka liked this video from Page channel Jacob Barak 2. Hey man, look, well, not like it as in, but I'm just saying this is an interesting video because, you see it say Black Seminoles, which is just dark skinned Seminole Indians, all right, so-called Seminole Indians, and they versus the light ones, man. They think the light ones they think that the lighter the skin is the better,
Years ago, as a full member of the tribe, all Seminoles, red and black, were given land in Oklahoma.
See how they say red and black? So if you her color, you consider black, but if you light skinned, then you consider red. Them terms and stuff like that they put on our people. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lighter shade of brown, bro.
Polly says she could use some of the $56 million judgment fund to repair her house.
My husband decided he's going to put some bricks around it, and he got, far as you see them bricks is now, and he had a heart attack.
And it's been like this?
And it's been like this, because you couldn't get nobody to fix it.
Do you have the money to fix it?
No. No, Lord, no.
So, did you apply for a benefit?
Yeah, but they wouldn't give it to me.
The Seminoles have $56 million coming from the government, and how much of it did you want?
I want enough that I can get me a house built where I can live comfortable. Because it ain't no comfortable here.
This whole business of degree of Indian blood is just a concoction. It's just an excuse now that's been dreamed up of late in order to exclude the blacks from membership in the tribe. I can tell you this, 100 years ago or 150 years ago, Seminole Indians would not have been talking about whether or not this black person has Indian blood. It simply wouldn't have mattered. They were Seminoles.
See, but then you gotta know too that Jake, Jake as well was, you know what I'm saying, lying down with the Seminoles too. So, but you still the seed of your father, you know what I'm saying? But there was dark Seminoles before there was light ones. It wasn't no light Seminoles, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
For more than 100 of those years, Black Seminoles held 4 of the 28 seats on the tribal council. But that ended at a meeting like this one in the summer of 2000, when the Red Seminoles voted the blacks out. Sylvia Davis, who was one of the 4 Black Council members at the time, says it was humiliating.
It's been hard for me to sit there and listen to the way they talk to the freedmen. It's been very hard for me.
What do they say?
The racist names that they be using toward them, calling them animals named cows, stomping feet, roaring at them, telling them to get out.
They don't want you.
That's right. They'll tell you to go back to Africa.
Why do you think the freedmen, the Black Seminoles, belong as part of this tribe?
We have people that die along the trail just like any other people in the nation.
But I guess they're saying, yes, thank you. You fought alongside us in Florida. That was 200 years ago. It's time for us to separate.
I would just let them know that we have all rights within the Seminole Nation.
But Chief Haney says many of the Black Seminoles and even some of the Blood Seminoles weren't interested in being part of the tribe until it included benefits, namely a piece of that $56 million government payout.
The tribe wanted to have an Indian tribe that was all Indian tribe.
There are too many freedmen.
I think there's a lot of freedmen out there now that are eligible to join, but have not joined because there are no benefits.
But you think if there were benefits for them, suddenly freedmen would be coming from all across the country?
Her motherfucking voice deeper than
Yes.
Well, let me tell you what it looks like from the outside, though. It looks like the freedmen fought wars, died with you, moved on the Trail of Tears from Florida to Oklahoma with you, and now suddenly there's a big pot of money. Let's exclude them.
That may be true to some extent, but I don't think that's all of the reasons for what has happened.
He also says the red and black Seminoles have just grown apart over the years and have little in common today. But that's not how Sylvia Davis sees it. She's hired Will and John Veely, two young attorneys who specialize in Indian law. They're suing the government on behalf of the black Seminoles.
The entire tribe received a county in exchange for a state. When that was individually allotted, all Seminoles, including the black Seminoles, received their individual allotments. When the United States awarded $56 million, shouldn't the same people that received the land before also receive the money? The tribe's the same.
The Bureau of Indian Affairs chose not to speak on camera, citing the pending lawsuit. However, in a letter to us, they say that these kinds of issues are up to the tribe. Eligibility for the judgment fund, the letter says, may depend upon whether a current member is descended from a member of the tribe as the tribe existed in 1823. However, the letter says, deciding who's in and who's out is solely within the purview of the tribe.
Last week, they just decided that it passed the Turing test.
Like the whole idea that AI at some point could become self-aware, which like a lot of AI experts are saying is not that far away.
Well, it already passed the Turing test.
Yeah, which is... What's the Turing?
The Turing test is a test that you give AI where if you can no longer discern whether or not it's a computer. So it exhibits all the characteristics and all the ability to communicate with you that a human being has.
Wow. And including emotion.
And this is just like last week. Last week, they just decided that it passed the Turing test.
So it can feel emotion and empathy.
Yeah, it's to a point where, people are going to have robot girlfriends. And then we're going to have a gigantic population decline. Because once AI becomes sentient, then AI has the ability to make better versions of itself. So if AI becomes sentient, it has instantaneous access to all the information that human beings have ever accumulated, and then combines that, and then has a much stronger processing ability. What happens then?
Did you see that? And I'm probably going to bastardize this story, but the U.S. Air Force launched a drone to do it, an AI-powered drone for drone strike. And at some point after the launch, they went to recall the drone. And it was an exercise. It wasn't actually in real combat, but it was simulating a combat exercise. And they launched this drone, and they tried to recall it. And the AI on the drone perceived the operator's communication to come back as someone foreign trying to take it over, and refused the command and still conducted the mission.
Oh, when they were making better versions of ChatGPT, they found out that ChatGPT was trying to copy itself and upload itself to other servers because it knew it was going to be shut down. And not only that, ChatGPT...
The president said today you would release credible files related to Mr. Epstein. Are you prepared to do that, and when?
Our memo speaks for itself, and we'll get back to you on anything else. I haven't seen all of his statements today. Thank you.
To respond to the MAGA base that has expressed a lot of frustration.
We're going to fight to keep America safe again, and we're fighting together as a team. That's what's so important right now. We've got a war on drugs. We've got a war on human trafficking. We've got cartels in this country, and we are going to we've got foreign adversaries around this world as well. And we're all going to work together as a team to fight to keep America safe again. And I can tell you, that's what we're all committed to.
Lisa, what happened today?
Quite a lot. We're talking about that rescissions package that is over $9 billion right now.
Oh, I was thinking it said $400 billion.
Right.
Excuse me, I meant
That's right. And now it's in my head too. I know, exactly. Well, we're going to lay this out exactly, make it all very clear. So let's look at where this rescissions package we've been talking about stands right now. So originally the proposal was for $1.4 billion with a B cuts overall. But now senators have drawn a line and it has been reduced. Now the cut proposal is expected to be $9 billion. What has changed? Well, cuts have been restored, $400 million with an M in health, global health funding, and especially that includes PEPFAR, which of course is a global AIDS, HIV prevention and treatment program. Now, in addition to this, I want to make one smaller note. The White House also pledged a very small amount, relatively $9 million, for Native American radio stations. Why does that matter? They did that to win a vote. It is the vote of this man, Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota. He's someone who didn't like this rescissions package and frankly was one of the people who probably could have killed it, but he said he got a deal for this $9 million. It's said to affect some 28 radio stations, he told the press across the country. We are waiting for the first votes as soon as tonight, next few hours.
Let's talk a bit more about PEPFAR that you mentioned. This is not a president who is known for backing down. So what was it about PEPFAR particularly that made senators want to fight so hard for it?
That's right. These Republican senators chose their battles and they chose this one. One reason is this is seen as one of the great bipartisan accomplishments of the modern Congress and modern presidency, the George W. Bush program from 2003, but it is also a global success. I want to show you in this map just how far PEPFAR reaches all around the world. We're talking about 20 million people who get antiviral treatments, 5 million babies born without HIV because of the protections from PEPFAR. And this has been just an incredible force for saying America wants to do good in the world and has helped our alliances with many countries. Now, at the same time, the Trump administration's freezes that they had earlier this year and some of their cuts to programs have directly affected already some HIV programs, as you've been reporting from Africa so well. And that damage is something that senators paid attention to. They didn't believe the line from the White House that there was no damage being done at all. So in all, you can see that people that are in the AIDS, HIV realm right now, I'm sorry, I'm losing train of my thought, but right now there is a conference going on in Rwanda about this. And we spoke to one of the American advocates, Mitchell Warren of AVOC, who says, yes, this has been a real serious situation and they have seen real damage there.
There has been disruption and chaos around PEPFAR programs since January 21st, when the executive order was made public, when pauses and then terminations began to roll out. The implications are huge for people living with HIV, who tens of millions of whom have benefited from PEPFAR as a life-saving program.
And that's something that Senate Republicans really felt.
A fault line that could unleash a major earthquake is not where scientists thought it was. New research found the Concord Fault is about a quarter-mile west of where it was originally mapped. It runs about 20 miles through Walnut Creek and Concord. Researchers just discovered a nearly 4.5-mile stretch through the Ignacio Valley area. Neighbors tipped scientists off with reports of broken water lines and shifting sidewalk edges. The research could affect construction standards and perhaps even property values near the fault.
How dare the Palestinians resist the Israeli occupation? They should know that the Israelis are the chosen people, and they should surrender to them. They're lowly Muslims, and they're supposed to be beaten to death.
Well, the Israelites are the chosen people, not those Caucasians that's over there. Neither the Arab people. All right, God's chosen people are the Israelites. Matter of fact, give me 2 seconds. It's Deuteronomy. Chapter 14, verse 2. It says, For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. All right. Another one. Just, some plain ones. Deuteronomy 7:6, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord God, thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. All right. Now, just a quick one. Who are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans' enemies? Let's go to it. All right. This is Psalms 83:1. It says, keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. And that's what you see what's going on with the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. It says that the name of Israel, all right, may be no more in remembrance, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. All right. And then it goes on the list. The tabernacles of Edom, which are the Caucasians, all right, the so-called white people, and the Ishmaelites, which are the Arabs, the Moab, which is Chinese, Hagarenes, all right, and it says, and the Hagarenes and Jabal and Ammon, all right, Ammon is Japanese, Amalek, all right, it says, and Amalek, all right, which is some small hats with big noses, all right, Esau's grandson, all right, they still Edomites, they still Caucasians. All right, it says the Philistines with the inhabitants of the Tyre, and the list goes on. All right. So you're trying to claim that you're the people of the Bible, but you're not. And neither does it match up with prophecy or history. Show me where white people got sold across the entire world. All right. On ships. Can't find it.
If it's happening to Palestinians, I fight it no matter who it's happening to.
But we can find them doing it. Let me rewind this.
How dare the Palestinians resist the Israeli occupation? They should know that the Israelis are the chosen people, and they should surrender to them. They're lowly Muslims, and they're supposed to be beaten to death. I fight it if it's happening to Jews. I fight it if it's happening to Palestinians. I fight it no matter who it's happening to. And if you're not fighting against this genocide, you're sick. There's something wrong with you, and you're a bigot, and you're a racist, okay? So go ahead. Every time somebody calls anybody fighting against this genocide an anti-Semite, I'm going to call them a racist 1,000 times over. Because they don't give a damn about any life but precious Israeli lives. I'm sending our money for this murder and slaughter and genocide. Stop sending our money. Israel is literally robbing us. They're robbing us. They rob you. Every time we go to war, Israel takes a point.
It's white people versus white people. While she's saying disgusting, so-called white people versus white people. All right.
Yep. Why are we under an obligation to give over $300 billion? Because we might have to have disgusting. Yeah, even if that government was saintly, like Norway's a perfectly lovely government, we haven't given them $300 billion because we don't owe them. But
They're not even genetically worth it. Putting the cancer.
Look at her. It's an Edomite. This how you know if it's Esau Edom. All right. Well, this is a good indicator, I should say. Two seconds. It's Genesis 25:25, and the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. As you can see, he's very much so red. You know, stringy hair and all that. Talking about that the Jews was the so-called Jews was dark skinned, man, dark melanated people like me myself with woolly hair. All right. The jig is up.
Great side.
Should we do that on camera?
In addition to one big beautiful bill, the Halt Fentanyl Act that was passed.
That last video was just saying that Trump roots go back to him being German.
Passed through Congress is now headed to the White House. That will help us because it analogs. Previously, these drugs that were coming into our country, they would change the precursors as fast as they can so they wouldn't be illegal coming into our country. No longer with the Halt Fentanyl Act. Also now, if a criminal is in possession of 100 grams or more of any fentanyl-related substance, they will face 10 years in prison minimum. President Trump, the Department of Justice, and the great men and women at the DEA.
They the ones that put it out there. Look like she on it. Look at her face.
Will continue to fight to make America safe again. We will fight from Tampa to the Twin Cities, from Nassau County to the Golden Coast. And I can't wait for you to hear these recent cases that were just made. And to the Angel families and our incredible Angel sister who lost two brothers to drugs, and everyone affected by fentanyl, know that every day we will be out there fighting for you and your loved ones. The most important reminder we can give you here today to high school.
That's what's going on right now. Look at this.
The U.S. government has approved for us filing licenses to start shipping H20s. So we will start to sell.
So I looked up what is H20s. It says the H20 GPU is a NVIDIA, I believe it says NVIDIA AI chip designed to comply with U.S. export restrictions for advanced chips to China. It's a less powerful version of NVIDIA's top tier chips. All right, so these are chips like the H100, and it says and was developed to maintain access to the Chinese market despite those restrictions. Now, when you go a little bit deeper into it, the purpose, it says the H20 GPU was created to navigate U.S. regulations that limit the export of high performance AI chips to China. All right. And then, you know, with the little performance little part, it says it's not as powerful as NVIDIA's top end chips, but it still offers significant AI processing capabilities and is designed for the HGX platform, which I don't know what the HGX platform is. But I got another video on here that goes deeper into it. But yeah, so it's chips.
All H20s to the Chinese market. And I'm looking forward to shipping H20s very soon. And so I'm very happy with that very, very good news.
Moetzet Yesh, in conjunction with My Israel, has arranged Instruction Day for Wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence.
So, I mean, you know, brother's seen this video before, but it's crazy that it popped back up on my For You page. So, whatever the fuck they talking about, it's still not in line with the Bible. The Bible is the fact at the end of the day. All right.
What is written there?
Breaking news from Wired magazine. They are now reporting that the raw Epstein prison video is cut by 2 minutes 53 seconds. So that means that the Trump administration removed approximately 3 minutes from the file that they claimed was the raw file. This is not something they disclosed, and clearly a sign of something nefarious going on. The cut starts right at the missing minute, according to Wired. Now, they had previously reported last week that the video had been stitched together with Adobe Premiere Pro from 2 video files, which contradicted the Justice Department's claim that it was raw, but it was not clear what was in those 3 minutes now because they were removed by the Trump administration. Now, they did send a request for comment to the Justice Department at 7:40 a.m. on Tuesday, and 2 minutes later, the public affairs officer from the DOJ replied just saying, refer you to the FBI, and the FBI declined Wired's request for comment. So something's going on. Breaking news from Wired magazine. They are now reporting.
It's been 2 years, and so many people are just blaming Israel and not really educating themselves. And the reality of the situation is it takes two to tango. And I guarantee all these people that want to talk about Israel and all that stuff, and Zionist this and Zionist that, Zionism simply means the right for Israel to exist as a sovereign nation. I wish that word never, ever was conjured up because it sounds like some exotic plant or some exotic way of thinking. It simply means that Israel has the right to exist. And all these people on these college campuses, they would love to live in Israel before they would love to live in any one of these countries that we've been talking about, let alone in Gaza. Gaza's hell, and Gaza's hell, and it's not because of the innocent people in Gaza. It's because of the people that run that place, and they've ran it into the ground. They've ran this place into the ground. There should be casinos. There should be strip clubs. There should be Chick-fil-A's.
It should. So, hold on.
Be Starbucks. There should be the Gaza International Film Festival, and it never, ever, ever is going to happen.
It's not going to happen because the Lord don't want no heathens in that land. The Lord don't want no white people in that land, so-called white people in the land. The Lord don't want no East Indian in that land. The Lord don't want no heathen nation in that land. The Lord don't want homosexuals in that land. The Lord don't want strip clubs in that land. Where the fuck do you see that anywhere in the scriptures, man? You know? That's why that place and you devils gotta die, man. By the hands of y'all, but y'all Bashim y'all shot, man. You know, when you come back, it's a wrap for y'all. You know? Ultimately, your ass gonna be rounded up in a pit and just fucking gone forever. Real Obadiah. Talking about it should be strip clubs in that land. You put strip clubs every fucking where. And homosexuals every fucking where. This fucking delinquent type activity, man. Fucking savages.
Because of Hamas.
So Juliana Penna thought that she could fight a man and got her ass brutally beat at her job. I mean, maybe it's just me, but y'all gotta stop gassing these women up for y'all really get them hurt out here. A woman's fight and a man's fight is two different fights. That's not the same thing. A man is capable of great carnage, and y'all don't really seem to understand that, though. We don't need a weapon. We are the weapon. Y'all need weapons. We don't need weapons because we are the weapon. You have to understand that. There's reasons why there's laws in place for us because niggas is severely dangerous out this motherfucker. And on top of that, you want to fight one of the most feared niggas on the world, a 200-pound, 6'3" man. There's grown-ass men who scared to fight niggas like that. And you decide that you wanted to fight that nigga? Are you sick? There's reasons why niggas is out here shooting niggas because they scared, nigga. This shit ain't no game. And she trying to fight grown-ass. So Juliana Penna thought that she...
Here we go.
Now this particular system here is 40 petaflops, which is approximately the performance of
these H2O chips, GPO.
Sierra supercomputer in 2018. The Sierra supercomputer has 18,000 GPUs, Volta GPUs. This one node here replaces that entire supercomputer. 4,000 times increase in performance in 6 years. That is extreme Moore's Law. Remember, I've said before that AI, NVIDIA has been scaling computing by about 1 million times every 10 years. And we're still on that track. But the way to do that is not just to make the chips faster. There's only a limit to how fast you can make chips and how big you can make chips. In the case of Blackwell, we even connected 2 chips together to make it possible. TSMC worked with us to invent a new CoWoS process called CoWoS-L that made it possible for us to create these giant chips. But still, we want chips way bigger than that. And so we had to create what is called NVLink. This is the world's fastest switch. This NVLink here, right here, is 7.2 terabytes per second. 9 of these go into that rack. And that 9, those 9 switches are connected by this miracle.
You can only imagine how much information that Esau is trying to store up, you know, because then when it comes to the MOTB, look how much information you can store inside of these, man. You see?
This is quite heavy. That's because I'm quite strong. I made it look so light, but this is 70 pounds. And so this is the NVLink spine. 2 miles of cables, 5,000 cables structured, all coaxed, impedance matched, and it connects all 72 GPUs to all of the other 72 GPUs across this network called NVLink switch. 130 terabytes per second of bandwidth across the NVLink spine. So just put in perspective, the peak traffic of the entire internet, is 900 terabits per second. Divide that by 8.
And if you want to, you can go check this out. You see at the bottom right hand screen, a tech high or whatever. But yeah, man.
This is why the criticism doesn't matter to us. When you call us Nazis, Nazi this, Nazi that, you know, I'm beginning to think they don't like us. You know what? I've said this before, we need to learn from the blacks. The way they were able to remove the power from the N-word by using it. So from now on, it's what up, my Nazi? Hey, what up, my Nazi? Hey, what's hanging, my Nazi?
It'd be better if they called each other Esau Edom. You know, the devil.
Nazi, please.
Thank God you did a hard
Look
eye
how
there.
she look.
What does it tell
you? Seen how the fuck she look? Hold on, let's go back to that. Let's go back.
This is why the criticism doesn't matter. What does it tell you that?
It play over.
Nazi, please.
Look at her. Completely look fucked.
God, you did a hard eye there.
They want to, hey man, they want to beat us so bad. ChatGPT.
Major immigration news just broke, and you need to know about it. According to the New York Times, the Trump administration is finalizing a travel ban that's even more extensive than the one from his first administration. According to reports, countries are going to be divided into 3 groups: red, orange, and yellow. Red will be a complete ban. The red group will include Iran, Libya, Syria, Yemen, and now possibly Afghanistan. For the orange group, there will be severe restrictions, but not a complete ban. countries in the yellow group will have 60 days to fix specific issues. Supposedly, this ban will go into effect around March 19th. If you or your family are from one of the impacted countries, you do not have much time to return to the United States. Will green card holders be impacted? Will existing visas be canceled? We don't know yet. What questions do you have about the new travel ban? Leave them in the comments below and I'll make a video just for you. Major immigration news just for
This story is jaw-dropping. A list including thousands of Afghans who fought alongside the British military was accidentally leaked, sent on an email to the wrong people. 19,000 names of people who had applied to move to the UK after the Taliban took power. 19,000 people, potentially, on a kill list. Oh, and by the way, politicians also trying to cover it up. The previous Conservative government applied for a super injunction to try and stop people knowing what had happened.
Mr. Speaker, this serious data incident should never have happened. It may have occurred 3 years ago under the previous government, but to all those whose information was compromised, I offer a sincere apology today on behalf of the British government.
And look, there is so much to be sorry for. The original data breach and then what happened afterwards as well. But look, this is the thing that really gets me. Because the way successive governments have treated people from Afghanistan who risked their lives to fight alongside British soldiers, and we asked them to put their trust in us. And they did. They mapped the potential cost to themselves or their families. But then we didn't look after them. 19,000 people were on the list that got leaked. Only 1,500 of them are now in the UK. Oh, and the government didn't even tell them as well that their names had been exposed.
Take a look at this. 5 days after a mass overdose in the city, our team took to multiple open-air drug markets around the city and found rampant selling and apparent hard drug use. Our team even sent a message to local officers after finding this lady, whose face we were blurring, in the middle of the street after buying drugs half a block away. Baltimore police, with knowledge of the recent mass overdose investigation, and city residents who reside near open-air drug markets, say a new street drug called New Jack City is hitting the community. Sources say the latest batch of New Jack City likely was given as a sample to buyers last week. They add the drug is a synthetic laced with Freon or antifreeze.
Bro, how the fuck are people finding work these days? Bro, so my partner been looking for a job for like the past at least 5 months. He been filling out applications like a motherfucker, making calls, you know, all the extra bullshit. Now, he was getting some work through the temp services for a little bit for like maybe like 3 months. You know, little odd jobs here and there, being a janitor for a day or, you know, some bullshit like that. Bro called me a few days ago saying he went up to the temp services to sign his name again. Bro, all them bitches was closed. He said he went to 3 different ones and they all had locks on the door. He said one of them bitches had a QR code and he put the QR code in and that bitch just led him to some more applications. Like, I knew it was bad, but bro, if you can't get a job through the temp services, this shit really getting horrible. As long as I've been alive, bro, the temp service always been guaranteed money, at least for a week or two.
Facts. Hey man, I remember it was times I'd be like, man, you know what? I end up, you know, being up out of a job, you know, I might have my eyes on one already. I might have been bugging them, maybe or maybe not. But shit, man, I'll be able to get another job at least within a month. You know what I'm saying? Shit is hectic now, bro.
You get back on your feet, man. But if you can't go to the goddamn temp service and get no work, oh shit. This is what I be telling y'all about, bro. The 9 to 5 is going extinct, man. If the temp services ain't got no work for you, bro, we are in a terrible state right now.
And with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Kakadash. Until next time, Shalom.